Hello, hello, hello. It's Attorney Mike Grevin coming to you from Chicago. As usual, I had a hearing this morning, so I haven't even seen the clip. I haven't even seen it. It was sent to me by Iris in Texas. It sounds promising. I hope there's something on there. Let's do it, shall we?
All right, let me hear. Wow.
Yeah, but doesn't he have like two cases that's a no at like 200,000?
Yeah, she wants it to.
No, not two of them.
Isn't this the third one? Am I missing something?
One got dismissed.
Do you want to?
My bad.
Do you want to take this one first?
I have to. Oh, it was Kidderberg because I have to be upstairs at 9:30.
Oh, okay.
Unless
So these charges come out of a gang case. So the 539 isn't because.
this will actually go pretty quick because it's a jail incident. So
Yeah, it should be quick. It's a
if we
jail incident.
can we take Spiller first and then that we should be done by 9:30 and then Turkey can take yours. Is that
That's
okay?
fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, instead Spiller,
Spiller first, please.
World Spiller. Who's here on Spiller?
Spiller.
All right.
Is
Can
Spiller
you get him to
the
turn
player?
the volume up again? That's weird that these or why we can't control it down here.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Morning. All right. Captain, if you raise your right hand for me, you swear or affirm testimony you're about to give is the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth.
I do.
All right. If you have a seat, state, spell your name for the court reporter for me quickly.
Good morning. My name is Captain Derek Page. That's Derrick. Last name Page, Paige.
All right. This is position 323 CP 217-699 World Spiller. It's got willful obstruction by use of threats or violence and unlawful person employed or associated with criminal street gang activity to participate in criminal street gang activity. So.
Thank you, Judge. Captain Page, can you tell me where you're employed?
Fulton County Sheriff's Office,
And how long have you been so employed?
17 years.
Okay. And what does a captain at the Fulton County Sheriff's Office do?
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
What do you do? What do you do in your position?
I'm a watch commander as well as a gang investigator.
Okay. And in regards to gang, as a gang investigator, tell me about that. What do you do as a gang investigator?
Investigate various crimes that may be gang affiliated, identify individuals that are gang affiliated, validating them, and things of that nature like that.
Okay. And where do you do that?
Primarily the Fulton County Jail.
Okay. And how long have you worked in the Fulton County Jail?
Roughly 17 years.
Okay. And how do you go about validating somebody as a gang member?
A lot of times, sometimes we go do it by way of tattoos. Sometimes it's communication with other agencies, law enforcement partners, as well as direct conversations with the inmates. 'Cause a lot of times inmates sometimes are willing to tell what their gang affiliation is.
Okay. And as part of validation, do you guys in your capacity as a gang investigator for the jail, do you keep information about the different gangs in your jail?
We do, and we also use Odyssey as well in terms of identifying them
Okay.
for separations.
Where is the jail located?
901 Wright Street.
Okay. And is that in Fulton County,
That is.
in Georgia?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So do you know Mr. Spirell?
Mr. Spiller, yes,
I apologize, Mr. Spiller.
I've had contact with him. I do not know him personally, no, ma'am.
Okay. Where have you had contact with him?
On the day of the incident, which one of my deputies was assaulted.
Okay. What was the date of the incident?
The date was March 27, 2023.
And you said one of your deputy was assaulted. Who was the deputy that was assaulted?
His name is Deputy Quincy Coleman.
Okay.
Deputy Quincy Coleman.
Who assaulted?
Quentin, I'm sorry, Quentin.
Who assaulted your deputy?
Mr. Spiller.
Okay. Exactly what did he do to assault your deputy?
Deputy Coleman was in the process of performing his duties. Mr. Spiller approached him from behind and splashed him with a cup of liquid fecal matter.
Okay. And what happened? Did he say anything when he did that?
He said, "This
Ooh.
is for mob, bitch."
Okay. And what does that mean to you?
He's been identified as a Goodfella gang member, so mob is just another name for Goodfellas. And a mob could be two different things, whether it be members of blood, but however, he's identified as a Goodfella gang member.
And when was he identified as a Goodfella gang member?
I can't remember. It was around the time of the incident. It may I think it was the day of the incident, actually.
Okay. And what is the significance of this is for the mob?
I'm sorry?
What is the significance of that? How did you interpret that as a gang investigator for the jail?
Well, at the time, Mr. Coleman, Deputy Coleman was removing several known gang members, which was part of the Goodfella gang. He was removing them from the zone due to behavioral issues. And at that time, that's when Mr. Spiller did what he did. And then through talking to him, he did admit that he was GF for Goodfellas.
So you talked to Mrs. Spiller?
I did.
Okay, when did you talk?
It was after the incident.
Okay, when did you talk to him?
When?
Yes.
It was maybe an hour or so after the incident. He was taken down to medical because once he had attacked Deputy Coleman, of course, use of force was done, so he had to be taken to medical to be seen by a PA or a nurse practitioner, whoever was working at the time.
Okay.
So I talked to him when he was down in medical.
And what information did you gather from him when you talked to him?
Well, while I was talking to him, he just made a comment to me. He's tired of Deputy Coleman and they're effing with them.
Okay. And then how did he identify himself as a good fellow?
Yes. How did he? When talking to him, I said, well, he did not deny. But I said, you did that for the mob, didn't you? And he said, that's when he meant. That's when he made the comment. We were tired of Deputy Coleman messing with us. So with that, saying that right there, I associated him with being a Goodfella gang member.
Are you familiar with the Goodfellas in the jail?
Yes, I am.
Okay, tell me about the Goodfellas in the jail.
Initially, it's probably not just Fulton County, but in the Georgia Department of Corrections, probably one of the most violent gangs in terms of criminal street gangs and jail gangs. Initially, it started off as 30 Deep, which was based out of Mechanicsville, and several gang members who are now serving prison time kind of switched the name over to Goodfellas. And they started calling themselves Mob. And this happened probably about like in 2013 or so. So for the past 10 years, they have probably been one of the most violent gangs that we have in our custody right now.
Okay. And so are you familiar with them in your jail?
Yes, I am.
Okay. And what kind of things do the Goodfellas do in your jail?
Robbery, extortion, stabbings.
And is this common if they're doing this for the mob to throw fecal matter at one of your deputies?
No, it's not.
And are you do you see Mr. Spiller in court today?
I do.
Would you please point to him, tell me what he's wearing and where he's seated, please?
He's sitting to my left, in which he's sitting beside his attorney. He has on a blue Fulton County uniform.
You want to let the record reflect that the witness has identified the defendant.
All right, noted.
And Mr. Spiller, sorry, Captain Page, for the Goodfellas mob, after he identified himself, is there anything he said he's been validated? How did you validate Mr. Spiller as a Goodfella member?
I did.
How did you validate him?
Just through the conversation, when I mentioned that you did that for the mob, and that's when he made the comment saying that I'm tired of him and coming in there and messing with us, because at that time, that's when Deputy Coleman was removing several mob gang members out of the zone. So that was more of a retaliation for him dealing with his fellow gang members.
Okay. And well, that begs the question, how does throwing fecal matter at your deputy further the gang in the jail? How does he help the gang in the jail?
Sometimes it could be an intimidation factor. That it could be used as a means of
Oh, what judge?
what you do to us, we're gonna come back and do to you.
And did you have any further contact with Mr. Spiller after that?
No, ma'am.
I'm sorry. I had to switch up because there's only one attorney who can handle the situation. That's right. It's the fly lawyer. I'm not the fly lawyer, but I do have a fresh new fly lawyer outfit, which is perfect for this scenario. Let's carry on, shall we?
Did you actually see the fecal matter, or did you get that from Deputy Coleman?
I saw the fecal matter. I also watched the video on a visual line camera system. And when I reported to Deputy Coleman at the immediately after the incident, the smell, the stuff was still on his clothes. We had to give him new clothes to put on at the time because, of course, he can't walk around with fecal matter on him.
The people who are responsible for this know it. I'm not gonna say who, but Iris and Andrea may have been involved. Also, Food Fairy.
I don't believe I have any other questions, Judge.
All right, go ahead, Ms. Houston.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Good afternoon. Just a few questions for you. Did you look into the allegations of Deputy Coleman messing with Mr. Spiller? I think those were your words.
No, Deputy Coleman was doing his job that day.
Okay. And you said it's not common for Goodfellas to have behavior such as throwing fecal matter, correct?
Not necessarily on officers. A lot of times Goodfellas gang members tend to be at war with blood gang members, but for an officer to get attacked, that's not common.
That's not common behavior,
That's
correct?
not common behavior.
Okay. And you said this was liquid fecal matter?
Yes, it was.
Okay. And it was in a cup?
It was.
Okay. And you watched this video?
I did.
About how much time span is the video?
Look at the prosecutor, bottom center. Just her expressions are the same as mine. She's like, oh.
Roughly about three or so minutes or so, possibly.
Okay. And you were able to see everything very clearly, the whole encounter?
I was.
Were there any other individuals around?
No, other inmates kind of moved out the way, but he was in a zone that housed close to 40 inmates. So yes, it was probably 38 other inmates in the vicinity.
Were there other deputies present when this happened?
When the help call went out, yes.
Okay. So Deputy Coleman is moving inmates alone at this time,
At
correct?
the time, yes.
Okay. And I think you said that my client had to go to medical after this was done,
Yes,
correct?
he did.
What action was taken against him?
He was taken down to the ground.
By whom?
By Deputy Coleman.
Okay. And he had some injuries from that?
I think he had a busted nose or a busted lip.
Okay. And then he went to medical and then came back to the same zone?
Now, actually, they went to medical and then after the report was generated, he was placed on lockdown.
Okay. How long was he placed on lockdown
I
for?
do not know.
Okay. No further questions, Your Honor.
All right. Anything else from the state?
You're on mute. She's on mute. I apologize. No, Judge.
Okay.
I apologize for the delay, Judge. I was thoroughly disgusted. Took me a second.
Thank you, Captain. You can be excused. Stay
Thank you,
safe
Your
out there. All right, go ahead with the argument.
Your Honor, I believe that the facts pretty much speak for itself. The defendant identified himself as a mob member. He was upset because
The facts do, in fact, speak for themselves. I agree wholeheartedly.
he believed that Mr. Deputy Coleman was messing with the mob, and he threw fecal matter at him. The Captain Page told you it smelled. He had to change his uniform, and he did it, as Deputy Coleman said, for intimidation tactics. You mess with us, we're the mob, we mess with you. And he also said how very uncommon it was. They usually fight, the gang members fight amongst each other, and it's really rare for them to fight against, well, to attack a deputy. And this is what the defendant did. I believe the state has met probable cause, and we ask that you bind him over.
Ms. Eustace?
Your Honor, we submit all the evidence.
All right, I'll find probables on both counts, the obstruction and the gang activity. Looks like bond was addressed on 7/20, and it was 130,000. You want to just address it again quickly?
Yes, Your Honor. Possible.
All right, go ahead, Bostic.
In regards to Spiller, open case 22 CP 207113, ag assault, robbery, firearm by criminal damage, firearm during criminal trespass, multi-state offender, Kansas, North Carolina, Missouri, 1 in Missouri, 7 in Kansas, 3 in North Carolina. In Kansas, he have controlled substance, criminal damage to property, North Carolina, assault with a deadly weapon, serious injury. In Georgia, he have a felony theft by shoplifting and in probation violation, nothing further.
All right, go ahead, Ms. Eustace.
Yes, Your Honor. Sorry, I'll put this other.
All right. Someone says there's a SovCit in Taylor. What judge is that? Somebody send me the link. Put it in Discord or IG.
As you heard, my client does have a little bit of history. He has been in custody for 530 days as of the printing of his calendar. We would be asking for a reasonable bond reduction. He's been in Georgia for 3 years. He can live with his mother if you would need that. She does live in North Carolina, so if he wanted to stay out of the state of Georgia unless for court, he would be able to do that. Otherwise, he will be able to stay here. He did receive his GED and was gainfully employed for about 1 year at Five Guys before being taken into custody. He's always been able to get gainful employment and will be able to do so within 1 month of being released because he is a hard worker. As you heard, again, he's been in custody for a significant amount of time, so we'd be asking for a reasonable reduction to $10,000 total.
All right. Go ahead, Ms. Oakham.
Your Honor, I would just ask that the bond remain the same. I know this is a jail incident, but the fact is that he's a multi-state offender. I think he's being held on other gang charges. I might have been the one that did it. I don't remember. And then he did this in jail as well, claiming to be a gang member as well. I would just ask that the bond remain the same, Judge.
All right.
And just for clarification, this is the only gang-related case that he has. He did have another one, it was dismissed by the courts. So.
Okay.
So
All right.
it
So,
wasn't me that did it. I apologize.
no, that's okay. All right. No further contact with Deputy Q Coleman unless it's in his official capacity. All right. No drugs unless prescribed, no alcohol, no weapons, no social media, no replicas of weapons, no further contact with any gang members or affiliates of any gangs, and anyone from Goodfellas. You're going to have an ankle monitor paid for by the county with a 24-hour curfew, court, lawyer, medical, employment. As long as you supply the name of your employer, proof of employment, schedule, and the exact location you'll be working. Now, if he stays here, he's going to stay in Fulton County?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. So the ankle monitor will be paid for by the county. If any hold pops up, sir, I don't know if something could pop up. You have 48 hours to have that ankle monitor placed on your ankle. And I think you have to call the ankle monitoring company is what you have to do, okay? So I'll go ahead 25 and 90, 25,000 and 90,000. Best of luck to you, sir.
Your Honor, that concludes my matter. May I be excused?
Yes, ma'am. Have a good one.
Thank you. You too, Judge.
All right. All right. And I just sent Judge Whitaker that you'd be on the way.
Thank you, Judge. And
Okay.
may I excuse the
Yes.
return for the other pre-lit?
Yes, ma'am.
Covered for Mr. Nelson Rose as well.
All right. So now we need Carrie Jones. Which one of you are here on Carrie Jones?
Status of Jones.
Uh-huh.
See, they have made it from ACDC.
Oh, okay. So you know Syria.
Worked out, an agreement.
No, for Jones?
I'm
So the
sorry,
option-
Judge. I apologize. Were you speaking to me before I logged off? I didn't hear what you were saying.
Oh, she said they have an agreement with Ms. Kennebrew's case.
Okay, thank you. I thought
Yes.
you were in the process of talking to me and I was already off, so I logged back in. Thank
Oh,
you.
yeah, no, it's on another case. Thank you. Have a good day.
Have a good day.
Yes, Your Honor. We're gonna wait till her client.
Yeah, they're checking to see if, because right now it has a $2,000 split bond on that one.
Judge, unfortunately, they haven't made it yet.
Oh, okay.
I do apologize.
No, it's.
All right. I think I've located this.
No, that's okay. If they work something out, she may go ahead and do it.
There's a little bit more of this. Then I have a nice pellet cleanser. Then I think we'll move on to the sovereign citizen. I can't take myself seriously in this hat. I just can't.
I'll do it.
But I finally have a bow tie to go with my bags when the soft sit comes up.
Are you at work, officer? Oh, yeah, we did talk about
No, you worked last night?
it. Yes, he worked last night.
Oh, okay. Well, if they're gonna work, y'all did work. Oh, how long is Miss Eustace gonna be? Do you know?
I don't know. Just want to grab her?
Yeah, just ask her how long, because this officer worked overnight. Hey, will you grab Miss Eustace? I'm just curious if it's like a long hearing or,
Now I look like I'm going to play some roulette.
sorry, I forgot to ask that this morning before we started. She didn't know if they're here from ACDC yet, Miss Kennebrew. Did y'all work out a consent?
We did, so, on the record, the state has agreed to drop the charges from entering auto to criminal trespass. So we'll make it all misdemeanors and agree to a use.
All right. Do you know, is yours gonna be a really long hearing? Do you know?
It's two quick presiding bond matters, Your Honor.
Oh, okay.
I imagine no more than 30 minutes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, I was
There's
just,
only 3 total cases.
oh, okay, okay, so you gonna be good for 30 minutes? Okay.
I will go as quickly as possible.
Now, he just worked overnight, so I was just checking. Thank you, Miss Eustace. I know, I'm sorry.
I will try to be very fast, Your Honor. If she has another calendar in conjunction with it, I can ask to come back down.
Okay.
I'm just not sure if we're going calendar.
I got you.
Thank you.
Thank you. So he can leave, right?
Yes.
All right, so you can leave on the Kerry Jones case, yes, sir. All right, you stay safe getting home.
Do you need me to sign something?
I didn't have time to go through this.
Thank you for coming and showing up. Yeah. Yeah. You don't need me to sign anything?
All right, nothing's going on here. Let me see.
And supply the jail with an address. Stay away.
07.
Where she's gonna live.
Okay,
And if you look, that's on the 8-4 bottom.
I've got a nice,
It's my
super
bond
innocent, sweet one.
On that one before.
Because I hadn't seen this
He got lucky because on the other one, it's my
clip,
bottom.
but I thought we'd need a palate cleanser. And
For
here
the
it
court
is.
this morning is the case entitled Amanda Hool versus Jason Hool, case number 23 AP 078.
This is just all kinds of innocent and charming, honestly.
Appellant James Hool is self-represented and has not appeared. Appellee Amanda Hool is self-represented and is appearing by WebEx.
Well, Ms. Hool, can you hear me?
Yes.
And we can hear you. Is there anything you want to say?
Do I need to speak my argument or?
Yeah.
Just,
Do I need to speak my argument? Yeah, we're here for oral argument. That's how that works. It's charming. They try to make her feel good.
Can I just tell one quick war story? The first time I went to the Second Circuit, the appellant was a lawyer from New York, and he didn't show, and the Chief Justice from the Second Circuit said, "Is there anything you want to say?" And I said, "Well, I've come all this way. I'd like to say something." And so that's I use that as my standard here. So, like,
if I don't need to say anything, I don't want to say anything, but I have prepared my argument.
Well, please go ahead. I think you certainly have made an effort, so we would like to hear what you have to say.
Okay. So I'm reading it. Is that okay?
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, good Lord. I mean, it's horrible by legal standards, but it's very sweet. It looks like she's making a speech at the PTO or something. But it's cute.
I'm shaking. Your Honors, these motions have been filed and matters heard and ruled on by a superior court. Originally, we both had attorneys to oversee the processes. From what I understand, the courts have used other cases and the Vermont statutes for their rulings. These matters have been applied and brought back to Superior and then Supreme Court for the review of the findings.
Well,
you have our briefs and have access to previous motions and findings. Although there are times we may not agree on the rulings, the law has been applied. My children and I have been through a lot since the decision to file for divorce. I never planned to sell my house, ever. However, I am grateful that I was able to get out from under all the debt. We all make decisions and choices, whether it's to move, change jobs, or whatnot. Start over in new relationships. None of this has been easy on anyone involved. I may not receive the court-ordered spousal or child support that I expect from my former spouse that has been court-ordered, but I am grateful for what I do receive. None of this has been easy on anyone involved. In closing, I would like to thank you for your time and opportunity to speak, and I'd like to close this chapter of my life, and I hope that Jason Hool or Mr. Hool would do the same.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you very much. We appreciate your appearing here and appreciate.
All right, people are really into this. In some places they call it the Parent Teacher Association. Some places they call it the Parent Teacher Organization. It's an acronym. It's common both ways.
What you said. So, since the other party to this case has not appeared, and you've had a chance to speak your mind about the matter, we'll call a conclusion.
All right, there we go. There we go. That was fantastic. All right, now I haven't seen this either. Let me see if I can get this going here. I'm told we have a sovereign citizen here. Just in case, I'm going to put my thinking cap on to kick this thing off.
In the matter of People versus Joshua Lanto. Mr. Lanto, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, counsel, you want to put your appearance on record?
Looks like Mr. Cooch left the room, Judge.
Is he anywhere to be seen?
This is what he's out. Yeah, he came out and went back in.
Yeah, you have a phone. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Mr. Greco, it's been indicated to me that somebody wants a 30-day adjournment on Mr. Lanto's case for discovery. Is that right?
I wasn't, that's fine with me, Judge, if that's what the request is.
Well, quick objection. The request was, why don't we just drop this right now?
Okay, Mr. Lanto, you understand that you're the one requesting that you be given 30 days to get discovery. It's not the
Well, the first thing I
prosecutor.
want.
You
Okay,
want
the
a
first thing I'd
trial
request-
today? You want a trial today?
Well, I mean, I'd even be willing to, sign a guilty plea today if the court can just produce the factual evidence of jurisdiction. It should be in my file somewhere.
It's official. There it is.
I was asking for the same thing up in the Clarkston courthouse, and they send me to the
Well,
Oakland County jail.
Mr. Lanto, I'm not gonna produce anything. I don't have to. I'm the judge. And as far as I know, the prosecutor can only produce what he wants to produce to convict. So we're not doing that. Your attorney's asked for 30 days. Do you want the 30 days or do you want to go to trial today?
Well, let's see what the discovery evidence has to say, but first,
Okay, so you want the 30 days.
First thing out of there, they could send the factual evidence of jurisdiction. That would be great. It should be a one-page document. If the prosecutor filed it, fantastic.
Mr. Lanto, you're talking crazy. I would suggest that you listen to your attorney, okay? I'm going to adjourn this matter on his motion for 30 days.
Did you just
say?
Can you?
I'm going to send this to the assignment clerk, Mr. Lanto. You're not listening. See, that's why you get in trouble, because you like to talk and you think you know it all, and you don't listen. I'm going to adjourn your case for 30 days. I'm going to send the matter down to the assignment clerk. She'll send out a notice. Hopefully your attorney will have the discovery that he wants by then, and we can handle your case. Okay?
Well, have you kind of calmed down a little bit?
What did he say? No.
Have you calmed down a little bit? Oh, the only thing would have been better is if it was a female judge.
You're all
It
set.
seems like you were
Please
getting
leave.
angry. It seems like you were getting angry.
No, Mr. Lanto, you leave the meeting. We'll see you in 30 days or so.
Let's discuss your feelings, Mr. Lanto.
Clerk will
Well, and
send
I
you a
just
notice.
Well, I just want the record to show I've asked these same questions in several courts and nobody has said I'm talking crazy.
I did. Law Talk with Mike said you're talking crazy right now. You've asked the same questions in other courts. Some choose to ignore it. Some choose to tell you to your face that it's stupid. This guy went the second route. It was enjoyable.
Yeah.
That's the first time somebody said I've been anything but reasonable in a courtroom.
Huh.
All right, Judge makes number 2. Law Talk with Mike here makes number 3. So look at that. You've tripled in one day.
That's amazing.
Huh, right.
You're talking like you know all about the law, and it doesn't make any sense to me.
Well, then let me ask a few questions for clarification.
You don't need to ask any questions. We'll deal with it in 30 days, Mr. Lanto.
Wait, we can't ask simple logical questions today?
Ask your attorney when you see him.
Like I said, I'd be willing to sign the guilty plea and just, be done with this if I just see the factual evidence of jurisdiction, number one. And then number two.
Asking for discovery.
Okay, and then the proof of jurisdiction is going to be in there? Is that, I'm asking a simple logical question. It's either yes or no, the proof is going to be in there or not. It's very simple. It's very logical, actually.
Well, let's see.
Mr. Lanto, I think maybe you ought to come into court in person next time, and your attorney will be here in person, and we can talk about it. So when you get that letter, can I put on there that he's in person? I'm going to indicate to the assignment clerk that I want you here in person. You know where the courthouse is?
Well, I feel like I'd be in danger if I came there. I'd be in danger.
No, you won't be in any danger. I'll assign a policeman to watch over you.
That's the
scariest. This judge is just killing it. I love it.
You watch over him when he comes.
That is the scariest thing I could ever hear. And that's coming from a very
yeah, dummy. That's he's well aware of the statement he just made.
Reasonable person.
Okay, we'll see you in person in about 30 days, whatever date the assignment clerk gives you, and you come into court, and we'll take care of business. Okay.
So what does it mean to take care of business? And I got to come in person, and you're going to assign a police officer to me, and then you said I'm talking crazy.
No.
I'll tell you what. Don't show up, and you'll find out what it means.
Did I just recall what was said on the record? Did I just recall that correctly?
You said no. You said it in reverse. I said first that you're talking some crazy talk. Then I said I'm going to adjourn it for 30 days, and then I said, because you're worried about it, that I'd have an officer watch over you while you're in court. We'll see you in 30 days. People versus William Vaughn. Mr. Vaughn here.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Vaughn, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Well, there you have it. On the fly, because I'm a fly attorney. I'm not the fly attorney. I want to give credit where credit is due. The fly attorney, as far as I can tell, is an attorney somewhere in Georgia. I'm merely an imitator. I just got a fly attorney costume. I make no pretense otherwise. But it was perfect for today's purposes. It really was. It really was. Thank you all. Thank you all for coming out. Thanks for telling me about the SovCit midstream. That couldn't wait. That had to happen. And we got it done. All right. Thank you all for coming out. I will see you all soon.